morning, welcome, look at your knee, and welcome to the S.H.O.P, the Social Hub of Positivity, on tour again in Zagreb. Now, for those who watch this, and I don't know if there are that many people, but just imagine that you did watch it and think, wait a minute, are they in Zagreb a lot, and are they in Croatia a lot? And the answer to that is yes. Partly because we are very fortunate to have this wonderful human being as part of our team. When I say our team, I mean my team. The wonderful Maja Boskovic, or as she's known in Croatia as Lucky Boskovic. I shan't even tell you why that is. The wonderful Donna Lee, who is just wonderful and has been around Can-Do for 25 years, which is extraordinary. That means she's had to work with me for at least 25 years. Think about that, everyone. Anyway, we're here because these fantastic people have been working on, and they're going to talk about it in a minute, this amazing documentary which we're showing with the help of the fantastic Rotarians based here in Zagreb. As you probably know, Rotarians all over the world, I don't know about all over the world, I mean, but they have clubs in various parts of the world. And the Zagreb Rotarians have helped finance this, and you'll understand why when you hear a little bit more about it. But before we get there, before we get to the bit about the documentary, I just want to talk a little bit about the earthquake in Syria and Turkey, which of course is appalling. We at Can-Do have been trying from the next day, Monday, so that happened Monday. Tuesday morning, Mike Morrissey, bless that man, was in our S.H.O.P in the Social Hub of Positivity in Emery Gate, busking from that moment on. So we did busking that day. Wednesday, we used the Rotary Hall, another Rotary Club, bizarrely, in Chippenham. And do anyone remember how much we raised on that one? Was it
£338?
£338. Fair play to everyone. To all the great musicians and everyone connected. I'm going to keep saying the name Mike Morrissey because not only was he like that up and doing the busking the next day in our shop, he put up the PA there, and then the next night at the fantastic Flying Monk, big thank you to Justin and Sam Compton, everyone, Sam Compton, Sam Old Compton Street. He is a genius, great performer, but great host at the Flying Monk, where we collectively raised
£231.
And then there was a collection thing, which is, now I think the £31 came from, it was 200 so anyway, all these figures, what we've been doing is putting them into the bank straight away, into the, what's
Disasters Emergency Committee.
Yes, which is getting coordinated, and the government are matching it with our money. I love it when people say government, and you have to pin down, and you say, when you say government, do you mean people like Richie Balzac and people like that, and like, you know, Boris, people like that? They go, the government, as if they were some sort. Anyway, these are, let's separate it. We are matching it with our own tax money. Jeez. Yeah. Anyway, but it's great that we should, and so should we. Sorry, it's just really, you know, I have this conversation with people who say, yeah, but the government, you know who the government are? You know who our local MP is, who allows sewage to be put into our rivers? Nice one, Michelle. Anyway, Bourbon, anyone? Bonbon, not Bourbon. Okay. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. Essentially, between busking again in the shop Saturday, the Flying Monk, the Rotary, and the raffle, the art raffle, Mark Nichols, we've been doing the art raffle as well. So we've been going to the shop in Emery Gate in Chippenham, which is in Wiltshire, which is in the earth.
So we've raised around 950 up, probably, upwards 950.
Yes, nearly £1,000.
Nearly £1,000.
Before this day's out, we're going to deduct some money from Lauren because she's drinking while she's making this thing. So the difference between how much we've actually raised and how much we've taken off her money, she's going to make £1,000. Anyway, couldn't have done it without all these great people. I want to name check a few musicians because they just, again, at the drop of a hat. So you've got your Will Lawtons, you've got your Ian Michelle's, you've got your Joni Jones, you've got your Brian Reeds, you've got your Kula Kachula, you've got your Us Two, you've got your Dee Dee, you've got Ash, what's that Ash?
Ashley Smith.
Ash Smith. He's great. He won
Will Lawton.
We'll not ask, we'll say him twice, shall we?
Oh,
I said him first, but you can watch this back later, Lauren. So she's getting 2 lots of money deducted. Ooh, such a
Jeff
serious.
Hill.
Jeff Hill, of course. Come on, everyone name them. They were fantastic. Jeff Hill, Ray DeBarra.
Jess Will.
Jess Wilkes, yeah, Jess Wilkes. Who else? Come on. Who else? Oh, Mike Morrissey, Hubert, and Andy, and Andy and Mike Morrissey, and again busking in the shop. Stephen in the shop.
Yes.
Ollie
Did you say
Hansel.
Ollie?
Ollie Hunsen. Ollie Hunsen. What a beauty. Was that? Oh yeah, and Sylvia and Consuela. That was fantastic with the cello, Sylvia. It's a multinational thing that we're doing there. Do you know what I mean? Like we had like the Hungarians.
And also turning it round in no time from the idea to it
Massive
happening.
effort.
Because and
Amazing.
again,
Massive
because
working together.
yeah, it's this. And I said this on the BBC Wiltshire thing, going back to I think it was '85 really, the first Ethiopia thing. Now this it sounds like wow, really? Who do you think you are? The next day when the Ethiopia thing was on the news, the famine, I went to Gold Diggers partly because my then girlfriend's mother, Julie Moran, what a wonderful woman. Basically told me I kind of had to do something about it, so I tried to set up a gig the next day. And one of the people I asked, who was possibly the most accomplished musician at the time and for a long time, was John Morrissey. Rest in peace, what a lovely man, fantastic talent, is of course Mike Morrissey's older brother. Now, the reason I'm saying that, it did seem bizarre to me that I didn't realise it at the time, that the very first person I asked us to do was another Morrissey. So fair play to the Morrissey family. If you don't know them, you'd be lucky to get to know them. They're great people. Anyway, if we've forgotten anyone, as we often do in these things, partly because I just babble on like look at these faces. They actually know me really well, and they're going, oh my God, I have no idea what he's going to say or why he's going to say it. But it's a terrible thing that's happened, but what makes these things more bearable is that we've got great people, particularly in the community of Chippenham. I've got to say, I'm very proud, and that's why I went back there after London. Could have got anywhere, people. Could have got to Cannes. That was never going to happen. Bonbon, oui, monsieur. Parlez-vous français? No. Anyway, back to why we're in Zagreb. And it ain't just to see our relatives, am I right, Maja?
That's right, Ed.
Wow, thank you. Come on, tell us about your project. It's fantastic.
So
I'm very
we're
proud.
here to show a film that Donna and me created about aid effort that went from England to Croatia and from Wales to Croatia in the 90s.
And the weird thing about it is that
During a war, during a civil
During
war,
a
this,
homeland.
Yeah.
when there was those of us who are living through it, horrendous. Bosnia, the whole breakup of the former Yugoslavia. Just want to sort of emphasise that the people that came from Wales, England, and our own wonderful Nikki Jew from Wiltshire College, who runs the media
that's what I was going
department.
to say. It was quite weird about it
Yeah.
because Maya was up at the college talking to Nikki Jew, and Nikki Jew said, "Oh, I went on the convoy of hope to Croatia in the early 1990s. Do you know Michael
Yeah.
Wright, who was the man who coordinated the effort from Wales?" And there was this amazing serendipitous meeting of Wiltshire, Wales, the Rotary Club of Zagreb. We've been out here.
Yeah, in the meantime, my dad talked to some Rotarians in Zagreb who said they were a part of that convoy and recently they were receiving end of the humanitarian aid. So at the same time, we met both people that like drove the aid to Croatia and people that received it, which was quite serendipitous, as you said.
And
Yeah.
again, an amazing, to go back to the earthquake funds and all sorts, an amazing community, small focus effort that just grew and grew and grew.
Yeah.
Especially today with all the disasters happening, it's interesting to look back how people reacted previously to previous disasters such as the war in Croatia. Came together and drove the aid to the needy
And
places.
did things they never thought they'd do.
Yes.
I think that's what we found out, sort of just interviewing people, was that people thought, oh, I'm just sitting here doing not very much, why don't I do that? And it just took off for them personally as well.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it also lasted for years,
Yeah.
which I find is quite impressive. They continuously drove the aid over to Croatia for 6 or 7 years in a row.
Really?
Like
Yes,
3 or 4
yeah.
times
Wow.
a year.
Wow.
Yeah, some people said they'd done over 30 trips. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
They just
Because
kept raising.
I'm looking forward to seeing this because I
driving
haven't
and
seen it
raising,
very
driving.
deliberately. Yeah, sorry, excuse me for.
No, it
that's
was
amazing.
the lady we interviewed said it took over all her free time, all her weekends, all her holidays from work.
Yes.
She just kept raising money, like funds and like different things that were needed.
Yeah.
So we're showing it.
Campaigning practically to
Yeah,
get the aid.
amazing stories. So we're showing it at the Rotary Club of Zagreb. Is that the right
Yeah,
one?
on Tuesday evening, Rotary Club Zagreb.
In the
Yeah.
is it the S.H.O.P we're showing
Yes.
in? It's just listen. I'm not part of the Croatian tourist board. I'm not part of any board, bizarrely.
Maybe they should pay.
Maybe they should. Or at least give us a free night at the Esplanade. What a fantastic! We're going to do some filming in there. We'll do another podcast in there. It's an amazing kind of 1930s, really. The interior seems a lot of it's beautiful. Anyway, great people, great initiative. We're also showing it in the library, aren't we?
Yeah, but we haven't arranged yet.
I was going to
But
say,
yeah.
we haven't told them. We're just going to show.
Library's watching.
What are you doing? Ooh, what's the matter with you? We'll also be showing it at our film festival. At the Can Do Arts Film Festival with the wonderful Real Cinemas at the Astoria in Chippenham. Chippenham, in case you didn't know, is in Wiltshire, which is in England, which is on the earth. We will be showing it as part of our film festival. Are we going to be able to, because we're doing this on the fly, because it's actually Sunday, we're putting this out tonight, so it's almost live, this broadcast. Are we going to put anything from your documentary in this? And put the totals up and thank you, maybe photographs of all the great musicians as well that we did, that have done the earthquake thing. What do you want, Jude? It's up to you.
What I find interesting as well in the documentary is archive footage from Mr. Dominic Medley, who is a BBC reporter that followed the convoy on, I did many trips, but the one he filmed was in 1993.
And
he gave me his
footage. Was in Wiltshire.
videos.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got it from his mom who lives in a village next
Really,
to Donna.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if there's
Miss
any other people that live
Bridget
really near
Medley.
Donna, have you got anything interesting that you can give us?
Yeah,
'Cause we
anything
like stuff.
interesting in your sheds?
No, I would have loved to interview his mother, for example, because can you imagine being a mom of like, I don't know how old he was
He was
at the
very
time,
young,
probably
wasn't he?
18 or
Yeah.
20, going off into a war zone with his camera, filming it, and the mom just supporting it and being
Yeah.
there for him, and she kept packing everything up as well, being a part of that
Wow.
mission as well.
Wow. We've got,
She's quite a legend.
we've got to
She
invite her
gave
to the
us
film
the
festival.
VHS
Are we going to? Because isn't Michael going to watch it live on a Zoom?
Hopefully, yeah.
For,
yeah.
so the
We're going to send it live.
fantastic
The person who
yeah.
started the whole movement
Yeah.
to get aid to Croatia is gonna watch it.
Fantastic.
But
Lovely.
also, sorry
Sorry,
to
yeah,
interrupt
no,
you,
no.
bizarrely he had nothing to do with Croatia either before he started this aid effort. He said he was just driving over the Severn Bridge one afternoon when he heard on the radio that there is a great need for help in Croatia.
For a minute I thought you were going to say he was driving over this Severn Bridge and when he sort of stopped daydreaming he landed in Croatia. Was that hell of a journey?
He literally just
Now that's
heard a
it's
radio
interesting
broadcast.
about being motivated to help, and I think that's a beautiful thing. Because some people would know we've done quite a few little benefit gigs for Ukraine, and understandably so. Like there's enough natural disasters happening on this earth for us not to really invest so much time and effort in killing each other in unnecessarily wars. We should have kind of eradicated it now. But recently, partly due to the fact that my wife, and I don't know if you know who she is, my sons, were they part of this Christmas present? 23andMe, what was that thing?
It's a company that analyzes your genes and
Yeah,
then
and I've been wearing these jeans since I was
Genetic
23.
ancestry.
Genetic ancestry. Now, for anyone that knows me, and you think, well, where does that beautiful face originate from? And it's a long story. Now, it turns out, because we're kind of generally considered to be Irish Catholic, obviously we're not, most of us are still Irish, but we've grown out of being Catholics. Don't know if you've read about them at all. Great fun is had by all if you live in one of their golden palaces. However, I have no great, no great anything. Beyond organised religion, it has proven not to be what it should be. But it does turn out that I am 22%.
Ukrainian Jewish.
Yeah, no, I could have said Ukrainian, that I get. But what's
Jewish.
the, how's it?
Jewish. Ashkenazi Jewish.
Ashkenazi.
Ashkenazi.
So, which means we originate in Ukraine, which makes that war slightly more personal. So there's a little broadcast now to Mr. Vladimir Putin. You cannot have any fights in our country anymore. Back in the old country. Once we finish getting Putin out of that place, I'm going to start on the Cossacks that got rid of my family in the first place. Anyway, on that lovely note, for all you Cossacks out there, and all you Vladimir Putins, love and peace. Anything else you want to say? Besides, I don't want to divorce you.
Thank you for featuring me on the
Oh, she edits this. This is Maya. She edits this every week. Donna, who is the backbone of this whole organisation, and ribs.
Yeah.
Backbone and ribs,
Yeah.
bless you. You feeling better?
Yeah, not too bad.
Okay,
Yeah.
excellent. If we've forgotten anyone to thank, but please do forgive us. But yeah, I don't know if you notice this, but we don't script these things. I literally is making it up as we go along. Am I right? I am right. Love and peace on a Sunday to everyone, and see you soon. And look out for more fundraising initiatives at Christian Welfare, at the Rising Sun, at the fantastic Old Road Tavern. And look out for brilliant music that's coming out on the Can Do Arts record label
music.
with Will Lawton, Ludwig Mack, Guillaume Michel, Mac Lloyd, Jonah Jones. There's loads of great people. Millie Hayward, Holly Hunsel. We've got loads of music coming out, people. Look out for it. Love and peace. That's a wrap. Spinning.
Spinning at a